Two Jack Bros. Two Jack Bros.
What's up? Welcome back to Two Jack Bros, or welcome if it's your first time, and I appreciate you giving us a shot. I'm Sidney. This is Ansley.
Hello.
And we have a guest today, none other than the Darryl Charles from the album Black Gentrifier, from his podcast DTF.
Yeah.
It is Darryl Charles.
I've never been a thee before. Thank you.
No? This is your first D?
I'm pretty sure.
Man, you have a very, Esquire, demeanor. You have a the demeanor.
You know what's funny? I never had a nickname. As a kid, people just call me Darryl. My uncle would call me D, but most people would call me Darryl. And for some reason, I had a lot of teachers be like, "Don't you have a nickname or something?" I was like, "No, people just call me Darryl." And
Yes, it's the Darryl.
yeah, right, exactly. I guess that's one of those. I don't know if that means my stature just precluded people from saying, "Hey, your name should be Jumbo" or something.
Yeah, it's also weird because once you get past a certain shade of black, your nickname involves
the color of your skin.
Yeah, right?
It can. Yeah.
It's so it's like, wait, your teachers were like, I mean, you're dark sun, right?
Yeah, right.
What do they call you?
Which is funny because it's like I'm in school, I'm in school. When teachers don't you have a nickname? I don't know you like that.
Yeah. Why are you trying
why
to
do
use
you
my
care?
nickname?
So in college, there was a guy who was basically your same exact skin tone, and he came to college with the nickname Black.
Well, happens.
It was just Black.
Sure. He introduced himself as Black.
Black. Yes.
Yeah, well,
Can I please call you something else?
My name is Black. No, it isn't.
Oh boy. Our school was 98% white.
I guess he just decided to get it over with.
So also, before we really get into this, I have to say, please like, subscribe, review, rate, do all of the things you like to do to the podcast that you support. Of course, if you give us a rate on iTunes, that is the most helpful. And subscribe to our Patreon 2 Jack Bros, which is basically the inverse to this podcast.
Yes.
As above is below, this is above, the Patreon is below, and boy is it. By the way, do you have time to stick around for the Patreon?
Sure, why not?
Haha, I just sold the Patreon. All right. Are you a gamer?
Yeah. I got a Switch on me right now.
Yeah, I'll keep that thing on.
I keep that thing on me.
Yeah. What is this isn't the podcast, but
Sure.
I'm just curious, when did you become a gamer? How?
Oh, pretty young. My mom got us a Tandy computer from Radio Shack. That was the brand of computer that they sold. We lived in East New York in Brooklyn, and so I think my mom just wanted to keep us in the house.
Okay.
So yeah, we got a computer pretty early, and then my brother was stealing games from his school.
Sick.
So boxing, Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, I was playing games pretty young, 6, 7.
There is nothing what do you do? If a kid steals Jeopardy, you have to let him have it.
Yeah, I mean, well,
If he steals Jeopardy from school, he wants to take Jeopardy
right,
home.
exactly. Yeah,
You're gonna be like,
it's
no.
I guess.
Yeah. That's no, I only asked that because earlier I was thinking that I don't think I ever recalled having a conversation with you about being an athlete as a child.
Oh yeah. Oh, no.
Okay.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I was on the basketball team in elementary school, and that was it. But I was one of those, had a lot of energy playing in gym, but I just
That's probably why you never had a nickname.
could be
Yeah.
very much.
Yeah.
Could be.
You got to be out there showing out to get a nickname.
True.
Were you a good dancer? Were you a vibrant dancer?
No, I mean, I can dance.
Yeah.
It's my family's Caribbean, so yeah. But it was
Shake the hips.
yeah, soca, reggae, that kind of stuff, calypso music. I can do all that stuff, and then I grew up in the 80s, so we were doing the WAP and the Running Man and all that stuff. So yeah,
He just cited his WAP credentials.
hey,
All right. So so I think we got to the bottom of it. I think we know why you don't have
I don't have a nickname.
now.
Yeah. Well, it could be. Yeah.
Figure that out.
Sure.
That's what we do. We get to the bottom of things here. Actually, are you familiar with what we do on this podcast?
No.
Okay. So I not that anybody is required to know, and I kind of like it when
It's more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, the premise of our podcast is to prove that you can have a dark sense of humor and still reach a higher consciousness or enlightenment or however you want to
sure,
describe
definitely.
it. So basically what we do is, Ansley, you want to tell them?
Sure.
Gotcha.
We take you through your chakras with questions going from the bottom to the top. And we learn, us and the listeners learn through your trials through life and you opening up and sharing your deepest, darkest secrets with us until you can reach enlightenment and we can learn from you.
Oh,
That's right. So the Sidney way of saying it is we take you through the process of enlightenment
all right. Sure.
so that the listener and ourselves can get a little closer to our higher consciousness ourselves by laughing our way to it vicariously through a funny comedian.
Oh.
I made that worse.
Sorry, I didn't get word for word.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, you got your own little swag that you do it with. I just wanted to add mine to it. That's what I do. That's my nickname.
Is it?
I don't even know what I would say my nickname is.
That's my nickname. I'll pull you through it.
Yes, my and1 nickname. Yeah, I'll pull you through it. Yeah, okay. So, Darryl, so everybody gets the same questions.
Sure.
On the podcast. So we always like to start off before we get into the shock questions. Darryl, what situation or experience has given you the most information?
What situation or like single experience?
However the answer crystallizes for you. I mean, it could be whatever you describe.
I mean, I think I did this program. Where the hell was it? It was in junior high, and it was like the summer program thing, prep. It was like preparatory stuff to make you go to like a boarding school. Mm-hmm. I didn't go, but I graduated. But that I think was like, it was super rigorous work because they were just like, yeah, you're never going to keep up with these kids. So I had to learn how to write a 5-paragraph essay. You had to learn, little bit of calculus.
Yeah, you do have boarding school energy, though. Like, kind of, right? Would you agree with that?
Yeah. I believe you went through the process and
the
you're
diction.
prepared
It's
for
the diction. It's
prepared for boarding school.
Yeah, but I ended up not going.
Was it your choice to not go?
None of them accepted me. My grades were pretty bad. Like, yeah. Oh, let me tell you. Oh, my grades were terrible. I was on probation the entire program. It's like, yeah. Oh, my grades have been bad.
Wait, when did you become a good student?
Grad school. No, but like what would happen
Never
is
give up.
No, what would happen is like my first semester in college, you just go have fun. My GPA was a 1.6, like my first semester. And so I would go do bad. I'd come home. My mom would be like, "Do you want to live with me?
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to do?" And I would go back to school and get like a 3 something. So my GPA ended up being like in the high 2s because I would go from a 1 something to a 3 something.
Dude, I barely graduated with a GPA. My college was like, listen, you didn't earn this, but we cannot, as an organization, have people leaving with this GPA. So we're gonna give you a different GPA. So yeah, it was. So there's that, right? Yeah. But so you're in this middle school program. You're about to tell us how you your situation experience that gave you the most information.
Yeah, I think I learned a lot because we had to read a lot of books from like the canon, of like Western literature and all that stuff. And I think it was just I used to have nightmares about learning. Like it was very intense.
Were the teachers good?
The teachers were pretty good. There was one math teacher who would throw stuff at you if you weren't paying attention. Like they would take, like in the summertime, they would take us and we would go to a boarding school and just live there and work.
Oh, they like put you in the...
Yeah, so they put us in this...
Wait, did you do this more than one summer?
2 years. It was 7th and 8th grade.
Were you like terrified to not get it? Like to not just get things in front of these teachers?
No, I don't think that... The problem with me is if I'm not interested, I don't care. That's always been my problem. So I didn't really... It didn't bother me too much that I was doing bad in it. Yeah. It probably should have. They were like, Darryl, you could do better. I was like, yeah,
probably.
But it impacted you. Like,
yeah, I think so. Like it really did. Yeah, I think it really did. Like I learned a lot, and I learned more since then. But I think that was like the time in my life where it was just like
we're not trying to say you only learned that
study
much.
kind of nonsense. Huh?
But no. So how would you distill then what you learned from that experience?
I think I learned how to excel under pressure. Probably, yeah. In an academic situation, but
yeah,
it was high pressure, and I made it. I think I might have been. I know at the time I was the only person to graduate and not get into a boarding school.
Congratulations.
Prolific.
Thanks. Trendsetter.
Listen, somebody got to set that record.
They went from being like anybody who graduates here gets to a board, and then you came along. They're like, I mean,
fun
you have a really good shot at it.
I got into like a specialized high school, but then like they would keep sending people to like meet with me. Like they'd take me out for like, dinner, and like we'd talk about like, all right, so you just get good grades and we'll get you in another school. And then I would show them my grades, be like, Darryl, you're not, what's happening?
You weren't getting.
And I was like, I don't listen. I had to tell the dude one time, hey, I don't want to go. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. This will be our last meeting.
What did your mom want you to go to a boarding school? Like where?
Yeah,
was,
my mom wanted me to.
that was where the pressure was coming.
Well, Yeah, I mean,
The impetus, rather.
yeah.
yeah. Well, I was a kid, and my
Yeah,
mom just
sorry.
wanted me to excel.
Did you go to a boarding school?
Excel. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I did preps. I did prep classes, not for like boarding school prep. I don't know. It was just like
They're prepping you for life.
prepping me for college. I went to a college.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. It was but all right. So that's pretty interesting. There's somebody who didn't do sports. The thing that they learned most was some academic program they did in fucking middle school.
That was like, yeah, man. That was like, even now I'm just sitting there like, man, that they shouldn't have did that to them kids. Like it was hard because we would do it, and we would have class. We would go and have class on Saturdays while going to school Monday through Friday, and they would give us like harder homework that we would have to do. And because I wasn't that great a student, I had to go to like their remedial classes on like Tuesday nights and Thursday nights. Like it was
Which was
a
your
nightmare.
regular classes at school.
Yeah. But it was funny because like the stuff that I was learning in high school, it was like I already knew it.
Yeah.
So it just gave you another way to just float through school.
Kind
and be like,
of.
I don't have to work hard. Mm-hmm. What were the other kids that were in the program like? Why were they? Were people really serious about it? Were there people like, it's going to be my future? I'm like,
Oh yeah, totally. I think I met one because one of them actually ended up going to Temple with me, which was kind of funny. But like, yeah, a lot of them excelled and really, really worked hard.
Yeah. I always found those people a little strange, like the kids that were like aimed towards success already.
I think I think as a kid, you just want to do good, right? You just want to make your parents happy or just do what you're told. And as you get older, like junior high especially, that's when you start developing a personality.
Yeah.
And so they swoop in before that really sets holds to be like, what you need to do is read. And then it sticks or it's too late. And
I had a little bit of an unconventional upbringing. I was already at this point like, I don't care what my parents think. They had a chance to live their life. This is my time now. It's my nickname. So, Darryl, we're going to get into open these chakras from the bottom up, like Ansley said. The first one is your survival chakra. It's located, where is it located, Ansley?
in your anus.
oh, well,
We're about to open it.
all right.
We're about to open up that anus. You feel cool about that?
It's been open before.
Dude, DTF.
Hey, baby, all day.
Ready. Darryl,
Yes.
how did you learn to overcome fear?
I don't know if I have. Well, I mean,
Let's get him, Ansley.
no, how did I learn to overcome fear? I don't know. I kind of get you just have to do it anyway. I think it's that kind of thing.
Okay. Can you ever remember a time when you were the most scared?
Like getting robbed at gunpoint, you mean?
Was that when you were the most scared? I mean,
I would say so, yeah. I think
Yeah.
that was it. Yeah. Yeah. I was on my way home and dude pushed me up against a fence,
How
pulled
old
a gun
were you?
out.
When
I
was
was high school. Either high school or junior high.
And
No, it was junior high.
that? Oh,
Has
wow.
that happened to you more than once, or was that the only time?
Junior high was like the years where I got robbed. Yeah.
You got robbed multiple times?
Yeah, I got robbed multiple
in
times.
junior high.
Yeah, in junior high. By the time I got to high school, it stopped.
Same guy?
No, different people, different places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
It was like,
You
yeah.
just look like you had stuff for the
Yo, he,
taking?
looked, he looked like he was going to a boarding school.
Right. Huge book bag and it just,
Yeah. I mean, that's impressive that you maintained your personality through that, because I was never targeted like that. And I was just talking to somebody about this recently. Like, I was never bullied in high school.
Yeah, me neither.
But some people were. Some people just
I was
have
a bully
look.
a little bit. No, whatever.
Nah, that's just fun. I was a fun guy. But
Oh,
some people just get targeted.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And whether it's like as a bullied person in high school or as like somebody that gets robbed on the street, like we know somebody that still gets robbed to this day.
Sure, it happens.
Joey, redhead Joey.
Oh
Doggy.
yeah.
He gets robbed a lot.
All right, does he? I mean, I know that one time.
Yeah.
Ah.
But here's the thing: like when you see him, you have to like, oh, don't rob him. He's a good guy. Do you know what I mean? There's like something about him. He draws you to
He
it.
knows he looks like a boy. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
he looks like a boy.
So what I'm saying is that can harden you and change your personality, and you
True.
can start acting a way to try to avoid.
Oh yeah,
Being
yeah.
that,
It could. I was trying to do stand up about it, but like, yeah, that's true. It could have made me like, fucking like a moonlight gangster, like really upset and like, no one's gonna, but nah, it just didn't.
Okay, so can you like walk us through that though? A lot of people who are listening probably have never been robbed at gunpoint.
Somebody says, "Yo, give me your money," and then you give them your money, and they go. And that time the dude was like, "Good looks," and I was like, "Did you just thank me for robbing me?"
Polite Rob.
Yeah, he was like, "Hey man, good look," and he walked away, and I was just like, "What?" And then I just went home.
Yeah. So where was the gun pointed? Like face,
Chest.
like on, like in your chest or distance?
Nah, distance.
Okay.
But he pushed me up against the fence.
And then,
One of those wrought iron gates. It wasn't.
Do you think the thing I think about whether it be robbed or assaulted in that sort of way is like the way somebody's approaching you and like
Oh, yeah.
as a woman like should I have seen him coming, did they cross was I aware of my situation or how did it like do you remember like the moment we were like whoa, it's too late?
It was very quick because it was nighttime. I was coming from the bus. I was walking to my grandmother's house and he was coming towards me. And, I mean, I think I've never been, when I was robbed, I was never unsure that it was going to happen. I was like, here it comes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was that sort of thing where like he was walking towards me looking menacing. And then when I tried to move out of his way, like you're walking down the street and you realize you're going to bump into someone.
Yeah.
So you just move to the side. He did it too.
Yeah.
And then I moved and he did it too. And then it got close. And
what was the like on a day that you were robbed? Since you were robbed multiple times, what was the earliest in that day where you were like, I'm gonna get robbed today?
Oh no!
Like you ever wake up and the wind hits you a certain way and you're like, this is it?
Nah, well, no. I was on my way to. Oh, I guess I did get robbed in high school. Did I? Yeah, I guess the one time. But this one, yeah, I was on my way to high school. I was going. The train by my grandmother's house was above ground. So you had to take stairs up to get there, and I was on the steps, and these kids were like in a group by the steps, and I was like, yeah, this might be it. Because it's like I would have to cross a street or did something. And I guess in my head, I was like, if I cross a street, then they'll know I'm afraid. So you just got to, barrel through. And then they stopped me and, threatened to beat me up. And they said, give me your money. I gave them my money. Then they were like, give me your Metro card. Which is, I had the free Metro card to get to school. And I was like, no. And he was like, what? I was like, I need it for school. And the dude was like, that's a good point, man. Yeah, you go to school. That's what you should be doing. It was kind of funny.
Yeah, you're gonna need school, dude. You walk around looking like you ain't got no nickname. Man, it's wild. So, not that this is what it was, but getting robbed repeatedly. I mean, that must calibrate you differently for fear in general.
Maybe. I mean, I think, yeah, maybe. I do feel like I definitely keep my head on a swivel. Like, I never feel like, I don't think I've been in Philly on times of day and night and never had that feeling. But, Brownsville, I don't know. Yeah.
Did you ever have somebody come up to you and ask for directions and you thought they were about to rob you? Like, were there any like false?
Oh, no.
You were just, okay.
There was no false alarms.
Just like robbing energy.
Yeah. Take it. Yeah. What?
So again, so now learning to deal with fear, you just kind of just thrust yourself forward, which is kind of interesting because that's the way you describe dealing with that one robbery. You like, this is it. I'm not gonna cross.
Yeah, like if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm not gonna burn cardio before getting robbed.
Right.
Yeah. But so you just thrust yourself into it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, figure it out when you're done.
All right.
But that's probably more the improv training. It was just like, fly without a net kind of.
Just say yes.
Yeah.
Give me your money. Yes,
Yes,
and?
yes, and? Yes, and? Do you need anything else?
MetroCard?
Take these shoes.
So we added another little question to this part. So what is your favorite thing to have blow up in anger fantasies about?
Blow up in anger fantasies. I don't think I have those. It's my favorite thing to. I mean,
You never have any sort of confrontations in your head?
no, not really. I mean, I in high school, I probably was like, figuring out what disses I would use if somebody decided to, bust on me. But like,
What do you got some?
no, I mean, in high school, that's what I'm saying. I was a little bit of a bully because I would make fun of people until they wanted to fight me. That was a thing.
Yeah.
That was fun. Like
And then what happened
They would
when-
try to like physically dominate me, and then I'd just make fun of them until their friends started laughing at them.
Ah,
Good times.
yeah. It's the comedian way, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Kind of.
It's just funny because I don't like doing that stuff on stage. I don't like.
Trying to make people fight you.
No, like aggressively handling hecklers and shit like that. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you would just like sit around just imagining.
Yeah.
Like, did you have a
Well,
specific?
especially when there was like, you'd be in a class and there'd be one person who did try to pick on you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just knew it was coming. Like there was going to be a day when he would decide to take it too far. And so, yeah.
Okay. So you just always had two in the chamber.
Yeah, pretty much. I just start busting on them, talk about their shoes or like how that's not a real polo shirt. That kind of stuff.
Dude, what was it? The medieval knights, or what was it? The Knights of the Round Table. It was like a guy. It was a knight on a horse.
Yeah.
Instead of the jockey on a horse.
Yeah.
But he was he was holding his lance, so it looked like
It was like something polo club.
Yeah.
Like that was the brand. Right?
Yeah, there was a polo club too.
It was a polo club,
Yeah.
and it was like, wait a minute,
Hold on a second.
that's not.
All right, we'll consider that a chakra unlocked.
Yes.
All right, that feel good? Does your butthole feel open?
I think it's maintaining.
All right. I mean, we can dig deeper into that butthole.
I understand.
It
I understand
could
what you're
still
saying.
be open.
This would, I need to prep.
Yeah. All right. So this next segment we call My Bad. And what we do here is we give you a chance to give an apology to any person, place, or thing that could use an apology from you to set your energy back to neutral so we can proceed forward with this quest of enlightenment.
There's one moment that I don't regret it. Anyway.
You just took the apology back before you gave it?
Yeah, no,
Sick.
it was like one night I was in Baltimore at like some mic, and there was this comedian who like I put quotes around it because he would always tell the same jokes. He wasn't working on anything, but he would always get drunk and then be a heckler. And like that's offensive. Right? Like what you're doing right now. Like, why would you do that? Like, you're a comic. It'd be one thing if you were just a drunk person, like a civilian, right? But you are, and so it was a sort of thing where like he was a weird guy, but all of the people who did comedy like kept him around, right? It was fun to watch the weird guy be weird, right? That sort of thing. And just one day, I just wasn't having a good day. And he was trying to crack on people, like who was standing outside. And
Did you already have one in the chamber for him?
This one just came out.
Okay.
Because he said something to me. I was like, yo, never talk to me again. He was like, what do you mean?
Zing.
I was like, don't talk to me again. You can do nothing for me in my life. Next time you see me, don't say shit. And I just turned and kept having a conversation with the rest of the people in the circle. And he didn't talk to me again. Like as I said it, I was like, Darryl, what is wrong with you? But I was like, well, you're already in here. Don't take it back.
Yeah.
And it probably took months before I was like, hey, what's up, man? He was like, hi.
He's like a puppy.
Yeah.
I should have kept that shit going.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him around though. Maybe it worked.
Maybe it worked, man.
Maybe it worked,
Maybe
yeah.
it worked. Maybe it gave him a little Maybe he looked around and was like, shit, I can't do anything for anybody. Does they all think about me?
Ooh, boy, yeah, it was just he just caught me on the wrong day.
Yeah, that'll force you to do either a deep dive or dig yourself deeper.
Yeah.
You can't walk away from that without doing one of those two things.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's either like, nah, he a fucking pussy. You know?
Yeah, right. Like, I don't care. I'm gonna talk to him anyway.
I knew he was mean. You know, whatever. You know, mean black Darryl.
That's my nickname.
So yeah.
Man. Ooh, because what was funny was, next time I would see him around, like in my head, I'd be like, Darryl, apologize. Just say you was wilding. And then like he would look at me and I'd be like, I ain't doing that shit. And I would just move on. And then the night he never said nothing. I was like, this is not bad, but you're a jerk, man.
Yeah. Well, how does that feel saying that now?
Oh, I mean, I'm having a great time. Recalling the story. I remember.
Yeah.
It was great. But yeah, it was. I mean, definitely there was a catharsis, right? Because he was that kind of dude. So I did have animosity for him because of those behaviors.
Yeah.
So to let it all out
Yeah.
in that way, it's fun because I don't even talk like, you know what I mean? I don't even talk like that. But I was just like, yo, don't ever talk to me fucking again. You hear me?
It's like, shit, I thought you almost went to a boarding school. Like, what the fuck was
Where'd
that?
that come from?
What was that?
He's not pronouncing all his words
Did
correctly.
somebody run over one of your Pokemon?
What happened? Yeah.
Yeah. That's I tell you what, like watching this process, it seems like there's nothing more fun to apologize to someone who never will hear it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It seems pretty fun.
Yeah, it's good.
Right?
It gets it off your chest.
But you could also tell them about the podcast. It's no big
Yeah,
deal.
you're right. Sure. Hey, I mentioned you on the podcast. That would be fucking funny.
Oh,
Hey, I
that'd be
mentioned
so
you on this
sick.
podcast. You should listen to it.
Yeah.
Like, that was me he was talking about.
Yeah. I mean, that would be that's what Brian Six did with his apology.
Oh,
He
yeah,
apologized to Kyla
Oh,
for like leaving her while she was sick and just like playing NHL and just leaving her in the just
That's relationships done.
it is, but it was you had to hear the way he explained it. It was
Oh, yeah, totally. No, but I mean, like, yeah, I've left my wife because she was sick.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, why are they acting like pussies?
Yeah. Yo. Oh, man, one time she got Lasik surgery.
Yeah.
And I went with her. And so, after and I watched it happen. I shouldn't have. But anyway, I watched them cut her eye open and all this stuff. Peel it flat back. Ugh.
Yeah.
So, after it's done, you're supposed to keep your eyes closed for like 8 hours. So we went back to our place and she just had to be, she was in the bedroom, bandaged with her eyes closed. And I was going to one of the South Philly bars to like buy food. And then when I got there, I was like, she has no frame of reference for time. I'll have a couple beers.
Yeah, I guess you can't look at a clock.
There's no-
huh? You'd be like, nah, it just seemed like a long time.
Yeah.
It's still 6.
Just, yeah. Oh, no, really. I came back
she has
immediately.
Thoughts.
She can't prove it though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but she can also, she has a phone. I don't know what she can do with a phone.
about to
with
say.
her
Talk out
eyes.
loud.
Right.
Yeah, you're like,
Right.
please play me a podcast phone. Does the phone work like that? Daryl, does the phone work like that? Daryl?
Hello?
Daryl.
Oh, that'd be terrifying to be alone, with no eyes.
Mm-hmm.
For a woman.
Yeah.
For anyone with eyes. I think
I would be at the bar like, she's probably overreacting about this right now, realizing that she's alone and be like, oh my God, I'm alone. It's like, I'm going to get back. It's going to be so annoying.
But it was like, she was all right. She was going to be in and out of sleep. Because what else are you going to do
Yeah.
with your eyes closed?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they told her like she should not open her eyes until like the next day.
Ansley, you're a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. You don't even need eyes. Stop it. Gosh,
It's unfair.
How'd you call me?
Right.
All right. So, wait, now the thing you said about leaving your wife and having 2 extra beers, was that an apology? Were you getting another apology, or were you?
I never told her that. I don't feel bad. I don't feel, but it's not an apology. I don't feel bad about it. I would hope she would have did the same thing if she were in my shoes.
Okay. I mean, how are your eyes?
Oh yeah, no, my eyes are really good.
Yeah. Never a chance of that happening.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah. So I'm gonna count that as a double apology, whether you like it or not.
Sure.
It's I mean, because you did share a
It's a
personal
confession
story.
more than an apology, but yeah.
I mean, that's what this is.
Yeah.
It's more of a confession thing, and we'll consider
He's
that.
like, I did not apologize to her.
Did not like
No,
that. That's
did
gonna
not
be the
say I'm
thing.
sorry.
I want to be very clear about this, Lori.
I did not apologize.
So that's your pelvis chakra. Got your butthole open. You got
Sure.
those hips moving.
Right.
Now we're moving up to the third chakra. This is the gut chakra. How do you move past disappointment, and how do you learn to move past disappointment? Okay, or like, why does disappointment not stop you in your tracks?
Oh, because I can't afford it. I can't afford for it to stop me in my tracks. I mean, that's a long question. Like, that's cognitive behavioral therapy. That's, talking about your feelings and like.
I don't know what those words are, but this is what this podcast.
Cognitive behavioral therapy. It's like it's one of the things people use to treat depression. So like if you find yourself stuck in a rut as far as mentally or whatever, it's just analyzing, like stepping outside of yourself, analyzing the situation, and like when my brain falls into this trap, teaching yourself ways to get out of it.
This is what your PhD is?
No.
What did you go to school for?
Electrical engineering.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I do cognitive behavioral therapy, like
okay.
to overcome depression. So
Yeah.
yeah. But it's just like when you're teaching your brain like you're doing fatalistic thinking, like why would you think this way? Like just give it a shot. That kind of stuff.
I think this podcast is some sort of cognitive behavioral therapy.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
So, can you remember a time when you were the most disappointed in yourself?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I'm going back to like childhood or whatnot, but like
It happens.
it's just it's one of those things where my mom was like a home health aide, and so anytime I got a bad grade or a teacher had to call home, which wasn't infrequent. My mom would yell at me, she might hit me, but then she would call my grandmother, and then I had to be on the phone with my grandmother. And those conversations, you'd feel like absolute shit. Because, it's your grandmother. And so she would just be, yelling at me and telling me that I could do better. Because that's the thing. My mom would yell at me and be upset. My grandmother would be like, that's so disappointing, Darryl. Come on, you're better than this. What are you doing? And then she said the thing, she was like, do you know what your mother has to do for a living?
Yeah.
And she's out there making money so you can play around in school. And I just fell to pieces. It was like, oh my God. Yeah, it was, yeah.
You're having too much fun?
I guess so. I certainly wasn't doing the work. So then the next semester I got a great grades.
Is that true?
I mean, it's pretty much how my whole academic career went.
You mean like the cycle of it?
Yeah, like do bad, get yelled at, do good.
Gotcha. But there was it? So are you referencing then like all the times your grandmom had to get?
No, I remember one specific time, and I can't remember because I mean the first time that it really hits you is a thing. Then when it would happen again, and she would give me the same speech, I'd be like, yeah, okay, all right,
yeah,
I've been here before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they. Well, I mean, they got it. They realized it had an impact.
You're right.
They're like, all right, I got one.
Yeah,
I got something I can
let
say
me
to this
get him
motherfucker.
again. Yeah.
Yeah, and did she ever get you with another one? Or were you just immune to it from that point on?
Oh yeah, I was immune. I mean, I was immune to it after that.
Yeah.
You got one shot, huh?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you never want to have those conversations, but when you realize they're just conversations.
Yeah, it's like that's how much Darryl didn't want to try.
Grandma'll be okay.
Yeah, should be all right.
Dude, he unlocked humanity as a kid to be like, these are just conversations. Holy shit. Yeah. All right, Grandma. All right, yeah, you're right.
I was I too am disappointed.
Yeah.
He said it. Okay, as long as you know.
All right. We'll consider that a chakra unlocked.
All right, cool.
All right. So, Darryl, we're moving into the heart chakra now. Ansley, you want to handle that?
Yeah. What have you learned from grief?
From grief? Ooh, boy. The thing I've learned, what have I learned from grief? I was going to say what I learned about grief. What have I learned from grief?
You can go, you can talk your way through the about if that
Yeah.
helps you get to the from.
The thing I've learned about grief is that it only gets worse the older you get. Yeah. Your worst days are in front of you. They're never behind you when it comes to grief, right? Because you're just going to lose more people and whatnot. The thing that, grief helped me with empathy because
Wait, so which one is empathy again?
feeling like for other people's feelings.
And what is sympathy?
Sympathy is understanding another person's feelings.
Okay. What are words? I don't know. I think you said the same thing twice as far as I
No.
can tell.
Like you're mad. I understand why you're mad. I sympathize with your anger. But like you're mad and it makes me mad. I'm empathizing.
Okay.
With the anger. Like I too have the same feelings.
So you learn how to get sad with people?
Yeah, it was one of them things where it's like, you end up going to like a funeral or something and it's not a direct relative of yours, right? You're like with a friend or it's one of your relatives that you're close to, it's their relative or something like that. And I used to sit and just be like, am I a serial killer? Like all these people are crying and I'm fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then then my grandmother died actually. Like I had one that like really affected me. And ever since then, it's like when other people are sad, I get sad too. Like,
Where you're like, oh, she got me again.
Yeah. It was like, I mean, my grandmother dying was probably the first like big one.
How old were you?
Like 37.
What? You had a
something like
grandmom into your 30s?
that. She was 93, yeah. That's when she went. I wasn't like 37. I might have been like 35, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
That's pretty awesome, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she lived a great life. She lived a long life. She lived a great life. All her family was around her when she went, or we were all like in the waiting room at the hospital when she went. So that was,
I just realized my grandmom lived into my 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they all had kids young.
Yeah.
She wasn't 90-something.
No.
No.
Yeah. She wasn't?
No.
No.
So my mom had me when she had my sister when she was 15. She had me when she was 22. And then, or 20. She had me when she was 20. But my grandmom started popping out kids when she was like 15, 16.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's how you get 14 kids.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
she had 14?
She had 14.
Yowzer.
Yeah.
My grandmother had 7. They were different back then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
part of that question tends to be what we just did is, can you remember your biggest source of grief? And I'm assuming that was your grandma.
Yeah, it was because I'd been to funerals. I'd been to a child's funeral. Those are fucking.
Oh. Yeah.
As a kid, I went to one.
Oh.
And it was one of those things where it's like he was my cousin and I knew him and I'd played with him and whatnot. I don't know if it was like some disease, some horrible tragedy. And even then, I was like, yeah, this is sad, but. All right, I'll just wait till it's over. You know what I mean? Like it didn't hit me, but then.
Do you ever look back as an adult and have sadness for that funeral?
For that, no.
Out of sight, out of mind, pussies.
Yeah, I mean, it is one of those things. I mean, when one of those big grief things hits you, it's just kind of funny how the waves will happen. You know what I mean? Like, and the one nice thing is that the waves are less each time. But you know what I mean? There'd be times where like something would strike my mind to remind me of my grandmother, and then I would just like fucking shut down. Like, you know what I mean? But like, with time it gets better, and yeah, that's the it's the one thing about grief that's cool is that it does go down, and it doesn't mean that like you care less. It just means that you're more calloused, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. You start to become accustomed to living with grief.
Yeah. Especially when here's another confession.
Sick.
No, I feel bad just because in the moment I thought I was helping, and I don't think I did.
Even better.
Yeah.
My favorite type of confession.
Yeah.
No, it was like, a friend of mine had a close relative die, and, we were talking, and they were like, grieving, and I was like, well, this feeling's just going to keep happening as you get older. And I was like, I don't know why. Like, in my head, it was just like, yeah, this is part of being old.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's objectively true.
Welcome to this. So, you're feeling bad now, but you'll feel better later. And it's going to keep happening.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what's wrong with you, Darryl?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I felt like it was the best advice I could give at the time.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
There's something
It's like-
about that though, because like what you were saying, like it is like you're going to continue to lose people. Like it does put into perspective the fact that like this is your one life, right? Like and it's limited and it's short, and like I think at some point you've got to reckon with that, right?
Yeah.
And so like it helps you or it forces you to do that.
Yeah.
We had to deal with that when we lost your mom
Yeah.
because she was the first of our parents to pass.
I'm not looking forward to that, man.
And so when it happened, because I mean, I know we've said this plenty of times on the podcast before, but for sure, if you were placing bets, she was last.
You're right.
Do you understand?
Right.
Like
right.
not even close.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it was just like the fact of like having to deal with that was
The shock
so
and
far
then the
from
grief.
the mind.
Yeah.
You know. So then when it does happen, it's just like
Yeah.
they're all gonna die.
Right. But I mean, yeah, I guess so. Because I think even, like, yeah, in like the years before my grandmother died, like her health was fucking nosediving. You know what I mean? Like you saw it coming. It was going to happen. You know what I mean? Oh, man. One time, anyway.
All right. We'll consider that a chakra unlocked before Darryl confesses to another crime of some kind. Darryl.
Yes.
Now we're going into the throat chakra, right? By the way, does your heart feel open? Do you feel it?
Sure, I do. Yeah, I think that was a cool conversation about grief.
Hell yeah. So moving along the throat chakra, now we're dealing with truth and stuff like that. Darryl, what is your favorite lie you ever told? Now, hold on. Your favorite lie you ever told, but you get extra karmic points if you reveal a lie that is currently in rotation.
Oh, I really live my life to not lie, so I don't have to remember lies. Yeah, I'll tell you something that'll hurt your feelings just because it's true or not. Oh, what are my lies?
I mean, you can go back as far as you need to go back to
Right,
find
so
your
to
lie.
find a
Yeah.
lie.
I mean, because I would say I can relate to that. Like I don't like to try to keep track of lies. You know, I went through a period in college where I was keeping track of way too many lies, but it wasn't fun. You know, but also I kind of come at things from a perspective of like, who are you? I'm not afraid to tell you the truth.
I mean,
You know what I
to
mean?
some degree, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess it was like cheating on a girlfriend or something like that. Probably was a lie. I mean, that was the lie of omission.
It is.
That might have been the last time I did that.
There was this one time, I think I told this on here before, but one time it was when I first started comedy. I was at a grocery store, and these people were in line in front of me talking about a really funny commercial. I don't remember what the commercial was at that time, but I chimed in their conversation and told them that I wrote that commercial. Dude, I didn't even know shit about the process of like, I didn't even know people wrote commercials. I was just like, hey, by the way.
That was me.
Yeah. And then I was like, told him I was a stand-up comedian. You know,
Sure.
it was like,
Fill out the backstory.
yeah.
It's good backstory
Yeah.
if you throw in the truth. That's nice.
Yeah. And it was just like, you know, that pops in my mind every now and again. It's like, I told those people that.
Oh, I mean, I messed around with a friend's girlfriend before. That I felt bad about like as soon as it was over. And
Did you ever get caught?
nah,
Never. Not
Yeah.
to this day.
to this day.
He might not know.
It's still in, that's a lie still in rotation.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, I guess this might be too specific, but I guess what I'm going to ask is like, was there a specific lie you had to tell him to keep him from knowing?
Nah.
It just never came up.
It just, it was the sort of thing where like, I'm not that guy, right? Like, I'm not that guy. So it was never like hey, remember that time I left early and you stayed? What happened? Like, there was never, just like, yeah. Yeah, I ain't shit.
Yeah, we'll consider that confession of throat chakra unlocked.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's
you would
a tough
agree with that, right?
I do. I
Okay.
agree.
Sometimes Ansley be debating these open chakras.
I
Yeah.
was thinking about when I was in seventh grade. I had to write a paper for science class for like the start of science fair. And I just didn't do it. And I was like, oh, my typewriter stopped or my printer didn't work. It was like back, computers were like touchy.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, and I got away with it. And,
Oh, that reminds me. That was a thing I would do. I hope when Microsoft Word has fixed it, but I would take a report, transfer it into Wingdings, save as,
yeah.
take that copy, open it up, and then translate it back to any font, and it would come up as all squares. So then I would save that and then send it to the teacher. And then they'd be like, this is a trash. There's nothing in this. I'm like, what? What do you mean?
I worked so hard.
Oh, no. Yeah, I've done that for myself and others.
I didn't even take notes. I caught a moment and I was just going.
Yeah.
Wait, what does it say?
Yeah, right? Really? It's not. Oh,
None
my
of-
God.
All squares? That's sick.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. You know what? Closed, reopened. Now that chakra is unlocked. That's an unlocked chakra right there.
And that's a tip. I don't know if you.
Yeah, if anybody in 7th grade
Yeah,
watching
yeah.
this podcast, man, that's a pretty good scam.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a good one. I mean, just because teachers weren't that good with computers and stuff, and then
Yeah.
you would just oh yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. That's well done, sir. Because then when they would check the boxes and like it would come out like this, it is this font.
Right.
It's supposed to be this font.
It's right. You change
Yeah.
the font. If you change it again, it's just going to be gobbledygook because the way Wingdings goes back into
Wingdings.
Yeah,
That's what Wingdings was made for.
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's all symbols and shit. So when you try to translate it back into English, it's like I have no idea what you're talking about for some reason.
Wing ding Darryl. You just got your first nickname, Darryl. Dude, I consider that like sport level shit right there. Dude, you should have got a varsity letter for that line. That's good.
So, yeah.
That's good. Give that man a copy of Jeopardy, please. Oh, man. All right. So now we just finished with all the physical chakras. We're getting now to the metaphysical chakras. Ansley, you want to handle that?
Sure. So this is your third eye. So what is something that you used to think was separate, but as you've gotten older, you realize it's actually the same? Kind of like two sides. I'm going to mess up the expression.
Yeah.
Two sides to the same coin type
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah.
Things that I thought were separate.
But now you're realizing they're just one coin.
Things that I thought were like opposed to each other, and now I think they just all.
I guess, however,
or-
and again, all these
whatever
questions
it means
are
to
gonna be
me.
whatever it means
Right.
to you.
Something like where my eye was open to see the greater world. I don't know.
Something that came to me is I feel like when I was growing up, like I had parents that were always like, look at that person, writing cartoons. Like, what a crazy job would that be? Or look at that person excelling in sports. And like, it always was like they were something special for like these things. And really they're just people that like worked really hard and dedicated themselves to a craft.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like, I don't know. That just felt like sharing.
That's your thing.
Yeah, that was something that didn't help.
Sorry.
No, it was good information.
I guess
Didn't
it's
help.
because I look like I do and I sound like I do. I'm often talked to after shows by white people who want to tell me about the blacks, and I spent a good number of years thinking that I could talk to them and change their mind, and I gave up on that. So I think that that was a thing. I don't know if that means like it's all the same, but I just realized like it's a disingenuous argument and I have better things to do with my time.
Yeah. Now, how do you feel about just trying to convince people the error of their ways in general?
I will, I have to quote Beyonce. This is something I saw on Twitter. It might not even be her, but someone said that she was like, until I see some of my notes applied, I'm not going to give any more notes. I don't see a reason to give any more notes. So it's that sort of thing. Like I will tell you what I think is the objective truth. We can whatever. And that's that.
I think that was the first person to quote Beyonce
I
on this
might be. I don't even know if
I
that is
agree.
Beyonce. The Twitter told me Beyonce said that.
Yeah, but that was our first attempt at quoting Beyonce on this podcast.
The wise Beyonce.
Yeah, I mean, you tried, whether that is a Beyonce quote or not. You just tried to quote Beyonce.
I did.
And we should give him an open chakra for that alone.
Your Beyonce
Yeah.
chakras.
All
open.
the single ladies.
So I'm gonna just talk through this question one more time, just to make sure you're comfortable with your answer, right? So it's two things that you thought were separate that you're now realizing are the same thing. And I'll give you an even example that people use, that some people say, like, again, politics, like extreme conservatives and extreme liberals, they're just the same person.
Yeah.
They
I
just
can
they
see
just
that.
need an outlet in either direction. Like
Right.
the direction isn't really, it's more of a personality thing. The thing is they need this outlet to express this level of emotion.
Yeah, they've decided it's their personality.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is,
Yeah, and I think part of it is I don't know, I guess in some way I thought that I could prove them wrong. Right? You know, like I felt like I could prove them wrong, I guess. And maybe, I don't know, through excelling or speaking correctly, you know, proper diction or whatever the fuck it is. Like, I could have a conversation with someone and prove them wrong, but I can't. Like,
all right. So it's almost like you're kind of realizing then that the two things that can be the same is like a person coming up to you speaking well and also being an idiot.
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, these things are not, behaving some way or even seeming like asking a question doesn't mean that you actually have done anything of note or, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I think.
I think I like that. What I was hoping you were going to say is asking a question and wanting the answer.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know.
I think I just confused myself with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's a difference between asking a question and wanting an answer. It's like it's the disingenuous argument, right? You're not asking me to seek clarification. You're asking me so that you can confuse me or confound me in some way.
Yeah.
Right? You're not dedicated to knowledge.
We may need that on the Patreon. So hold on to that answer. That answer doesn't necessarily apply here.
No, okay, all right.
But I mean, we tried multiple times, so we just unlocked the chakra for that. Yeah.
Third eye open.
Yeah. Let's how about we'll put a pin in that.
Okay.
We'll go to the last question.
Sure.
And if the last, like, sometimes things get jarred loose, as you know, because everybody's calibrated differently. So this next chakra is the crown chakra, which is like your attachment to the greater universe for the most part. It would be what you would need to reach the avatar state.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
I've seen my wife really likes the show
You
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
you know what the fuck I'm talking about.
I guess, like psychic projection kind of stuff.
All right, we're gonna ask this question. 'Cause you trying to fight me in my house, dog? What is this?
Wingdings don't do that shit. Come on now.
Motherfucker Wingding Darryl at it again. He trying to send me back fucking squares just now. Is this what you're talking about, Avatar? I don't know. Get these squares out of my face, Darryl. Yeah, that's that's a retarded nickname. Wingding Darryl, but it's funny.
It's fun.
It's funny.
Silly.
Yeah. So we're gonna go to this next chakra.
Okay.
Darryl, what is this? Is a two-part question. Well, it's more than two parts, but hear me out. One thing that you can't give up and why. That's just one part, by the way. This is a one-part question technically. And then is what would giving that up mean for you?
I mean, I guess I could be corny and be like comedy. I can't give that up. Yeah, I don't think I can give that up.
Why not?
I like it too much. It's too, I really like doing it. And it's the freedom of being on stage and completely being in the moment is some shit that I'll probably always seek.
What would giving that up mean? Like, what would a world without you doing comedy even look like?
What would I be doing comedy would probably look like fucking Kevin Spacey in American Beauty.
Banging teenagers?
like hating your life and thinking that there's some one person can fix it or some shit like that. I think that's what happened with him.
But what about the banging hot teenagers?
I mean, I don't think. I mean, maybe. Let's say yes. No. Yeah, fucking smoking weed, doing push-ups, and fantasizing about little girls.
Yeah, I mean, all he needed was an improv troupe. He was one improv troupe away from not ruining his life.
Yeah.
One open mic away, dude.
Okay.
One open mic away. So, all right. I mean, I feel comfortable with that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, let's just one more time talk through this.
Okay.
I just want to make sure that we're getting an answer,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because we got to make sure these chakras actually get unlocked. We don't want to send you out here.
Sure, half open.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm just gonna say it again,
Mm-hmm.
right? And everybody that watches this knows that this question requires a lot of explanation, tends to need a lot of thought, and
Sure.
So 2 entities that are separate, but now you're realizing over time that they're actually the same.
Maybe that didn't answer that. Can I do another one?
Mm-hmm.
I think recognizing that we as human beings are responsible for everything human beings have ever done. We are all part of like one giant organism, right? Like the earth. So like when things have happened, like I should take credit for the things that have happened before, like the good and the bad, right? That's probably a thing.
So so what would the 2 separate entities be?
Like, like the evil people in it. Like, just the
Okay.
understanding that there's people are capable of great good and great evil. And we should take accountability for all of that.
All right. Also, too, it is the same that like every individual is capable of both evil and good. No matter how good you are, you're capable of evil. No matter how evil you are, you're capable of good.
And the circumstances, you might think you're doing good and you're doing evil.
Nailed it.
Fucking, we did it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did it.
Yeah.
That feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did that feel good saying that answer?
That felt good. And that is definitely, it was a watershed moment for me. And I think that was like, is it like intellectual history class or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Something like
I
that.
don't know.
We looked at like
We're
the
not the boarding
history
school
of
type
person.
there. You gotta be careful the words you
This
use
is a
around
class.
here.
Everybody had to take it at Temple.
We are like what we like to call smart-tarded around here.
But yeah.
All right. Cool. So, Darryl, that was it.
Cool. Thank you.
That was it. And of course, we have the Patreon coming up. So please donate to the Patreon. $1 gets you all of our content. We also just did another fight commentary for one of Ansley's fights. It's coming out this Wednesday. Actually, it should already be out by the time Darryl's episode is out.
Oh, sure.
So you saw it.
Came out last Wednesday.
You saw it if you donated $1 to the Patreon. Yes. Also, Darryl has his album, Black Gentrifier,
Yep.
iTunes, and everywhere else that you can get albums.
Yep.
His podcast, DTF with Timmery, is the Darryl and Timmery Fun Hour.
Yes.
And they talk about sex and sexual things.
The greatest sex ed comedy game show in the known universe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wish you would have told me to say that. I
Sorry.
could have said
I
that
just,
tagline too.
it's been a tagline.
Made it
for a
seem like
while.
I didn't know what I was talking about.
No,
So,
no, you
you
do.
can't be correcting me on my podcast. Like, what the who the fuck does that? Like, what kind of podcast etiquette is that?
Yes, and it. Wasn't.
But yeah, man, definitely check out Darryl's stuff. Everything he does is professional level, quality, hilarious stuff.
Thank you. Go to my website, wingdingsdarryl. It's darrylcomedy.com. Whatever.
Oh my God.
I'm about to buy me a domain name now.
Yeah, right? Dude, I would be so funny if we went to this website and it was just all squares. It's like, damn, you trying to get credit for a website? What are you doing, dude?
What? You mean it's not working? Oh, no. What?
Oh, man. All right. Check out all Darryl's stuff. We love you guys. Thank you for all the support. We're out.
See ya.
Bye.
Two Jack Rose, two Jack Rose.